Presents wrestling headlines for today. So we are going to be talking about in this video Braun Strowman. He finally underwent the knife. Thankfully, it was not a concussion. It was something that needed to be repaired surgically. We are also talking about a report from Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter regarding the latest tactic that WB is doing to stifle the growth of AEW, those bastards. And then we are going to be looking at a injured AEW star who is returning from injury, obviously, to in-ring action. So, with that being said, let's keep it loaded. Kicking things off is the injured AEW star who is returning from said sidelines. And this one has been a while. This person has been out for quite some time, and that is Santana. So look, Santana has been out of action since last June, y'all. Last June. He was part of the Blood and Guts match, right? He had a non-contact knee injury that placed him on the sidelines. He was just trying to do a spot with Daniel Garcia just minutes into the match and went down, and it was unfortunate. Now look, before he was being sidelined, he actually came out and confirmed reports that there was a rift between Santana and Ortiz, the two stars. They had not worked a normal tag team match in all of 2022. And I understand that was only 6 months, but still. Instead, Santana had been working as a single star on the indie scene, and they would work multi-man tags and stuff like that on AEW television. Now look, Dave Meltzer reported in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that Santana, look, he's on his way back. Meltzer wrote, Santana is going to be ready to return soon. Not sure whether he fits since he and Ortiz had a falling out. I don't know what AEW will have for them, but they haven't used Ortiz whatsoever. So hopefully Santana, Ortiz, they can get their stuff together, they can work things out, and we can get back on track with them. Our next story involves WB and AEW. WB has been trying to hurt the impact and the growth of AEW since the promotion launched in 2019. That includes holding NXT shows, PLEs, against AEW pay-per-views. That includes moving a 1-hour WB Network version of NXT television from the streaming platform to the USA Network, extending it to 2 hours, going head-to-head live on Wednesday nights against AEW Dynamite. Once that show got launched, after AEW got a TV deal with Warner Bros. Discovery. And there's been other things that WB has done to try to hurt the growth of AEW. And this latest tactic does not surprise me, but I find it interesting. And it's something that MLW has actually alleged that WB did back in 2019 with the ROH New Japan G1 Supercard show at Madison Square Garden, where they alleged that Triple H was told by Vince McMahon, tell MSG do not book that show. And MSG's like, no, we're going to book that show. And they booked ROH in New Japan. Anyways, so Dave Meltzer reports that WB has put some interesting clauses in the deals that they have with various venues/arenas. Meltzer wrote, there's an interesting note that in arenas that they do rent to both AEW and WWE, WB has been putting in clauses in its deals that basically states, look, if you're in an arena, AEW cannot book a show with them a number of weeks before or after a WWE event. So let's just say WWE books a show, they book Monday Night Raw, or in this case, let's do this, they book SmackDown on June 2nd. AEW can't go in there and run an event June 3rd at that same arena. You just can't do it. Also, AEW and the arena cannot announce the show or sell tickets until after the WWE show has taken place. That is interesting. More childish games from WWE, but I'm not surprised. Now look, our final story is Braun Strowman. I did a video the other day regarding concern about him and potentially him suffering a concussion because he was out of action with an unspecified injury. And typically when these types of reports come out, it is due to the fact that the person has a concussion. And Braun Strowman had a concussion back in late April. He was only out for about a week. And then May 30th hit, and boom, there's a report he has an unspecified injury. Oh no. And I was concerned that it was an injury that was due to a concussion. I thought he had a concussion. He doesn't. But it's not great news either because he's going to be out of action not only for the rest of 2023, but probably extending into middle of 2024. Braun Strowman took to Instagram today to announce that he had undergone neck fusion surgery. He got his C4 and C5 vertebrae fused by Dr. Andrews in Birmingham, Alabama. And in the post, he talked about how this was scary to find out that he needed to have surgery and such as serious of an injury. But he promised, I'll be back, and he thanked the fans for all their well wishes. So we definitely send him a speedy recovery, or wish him a speedy recovery.